Hello, I'm finally back with another video. I'll be showing you how to make my shrimp Caesar salad. It's not really Caesar salad, so don't clock me on that. I'll make sure to have all the ingredients in the description down below, but I am starting off with half a loaf sourdough bread, and as you can see, I'm just ripping it into smaller pieces because we're making croutons. So I learned this technique from Claire at Bon Appetit. Thank you, Claire. I'm lazy, and also it's more fun this way anyways. Moving on, we're making the mixture that will flavor the croutons. So that just starts off with a bit of butter in a small bowl. And then to that, I'm adding minced garlic. So I'm Korean, so we have this stuff in the freezer at all times. We add it to everything. Just gonna add a little bit more. So be adding fresh thyme to the mixture. So you could use any herb that you like. I just find this combination to taste the best for me. And there's no really easy way to do this, but you're just pulling the leaves off by reverse pulling on the stem. Just making sure you're not getting any of the tough stems in there. I did melt the mixture a little bit in the microwave to melt the butter, and I'm just seasoning it with salt and pepper. Mind you, I did start off with unsalted butter, so if you're using salted butter, I'd skip the salt, just add the pepper, and then we're just going to mix everything together so that everything is well incorporated. And then bringing that bread back, we're just making sure that every piece of bread has a bit of this mixture. You don't have to be as meticulous as I am here because we are gonna, go in with our hands. Also, I do have the oven at like 350 degrees, and we're gonna put it in there for like 15 minutes, and that's it. You'll start smelling the bread as this starts getting toasted. Just make sure it doesn't burn. So now I'm just prepping my shrimp. These are already peeled and deveined, but I am cutting along the backside. This is more just for presentation's sake. Once they cook up, they look a little bit more appetizing. You'll see what I mean later. This is also my very poor attempt at trying to remove this vein at the stomach along the shrimp. According to my mom, you don't need to do this, so you could totally skip this step. A little gross, but you could get a little gross in the kitchen. It's all good. And then once you have all of your shrimp ready, we are seasoning. So I have Cajun seasoning as well as oregano. I think next time I'll also add lemon in here. And the Cajun seasoning is like a wild card. I don't know, I tried it once and it was so good. So you could even try to put like garlic powder or even cayenne pepper. Don't forget the salt and pepper. And then I'm covering it with oil just so that it's prepped for when I'm ready for it to start cooking, mixing everything together. Just set that aside in the refrigerator while we prep the rest of our toppings. So I have a red onion here, and I am just taking off the white core because I feel like that tends to be the strongest, and this will be raw. And then we're cutting it as thinly as possible. And once you're done, we're setting it off to the side. Next, I have a cucumber. And of course, you could add whatever toppings you like. I just decided to go with these three, and I stick to this usually. And I'm cutting them so that it just makes it easier for me to eat at the end. Now I have some grape tomatoes, and for whatever reason, I decided to cut it into quarters. It's already annoying to cut it into halves, but do as you wish. Next, I'm just prepping our lettuce. I have romaine hearts, and I'm cutting the bigger leaves in half, again, just to make everything a little bit easier to eat. And you could use whatever greens you like. I have an avocado, which I feel like everyone loves an avocado, so definitely just grab one for the salad. And of course, I have this most dangerous cutting off camera. Please don't be like me, but we're just cutting it in half and cutting it into cubes right in the skin using a butter knife. I must have learned my lesson to be safe here, you guys. I'm just gonna keep it in the skin until we're ready to use it. I'm cheating here, but I have store-bought Caesar dressing. Of course, you can make your own. I decided to add a little lemon because it was just a little bit too creamy. Now I have my shrimps going. So you want to cook it at a high heat because you want the shrimp to be a little bit caramelized. I have it in an overcrowded pan, but it's working for me. And they only need to go for like a minute aside. So once you start to see that they're opaque, they're done. Don't overcook your shrimp. Next, just grab a really big bowl because we're going to be dressing our lettuce or our greens with the dressing. So I have my romaine lettuce and arugula as well. And last minute I decided to add the red onions because I figured it would cut a little bit of the spiciness if it's sitting in the dressing. We're finally here. We're assembling our salad. So I'm just realizing now that this isn't the easiest salad to make, but it's so worth it. So please give it a try. So I just have my bowl and I am adding my dressed greens. Yes, I'm adding that whole avocado. We're just gonna follow it with the rest of the toppings. So it includes our tomatoes and cucumbers. Followed by our shrimp. Do you see what I mean? It just looked a little bit nicer, and I feel like cutting it this way gives it a better texture. Almost forgot, we're just going to finish the salad by topping it off with our croutons. Sorry I don't have a final shot of this in the pan, but I do have a short clip at the end of the video so you can hear what that sounds like. I'm also taking the rest of the dressing and pouring it over my toppings. You could put as little or as much as you like. Really not sure what kind of psycho juices the lemon and then adds water, but that's exactly what I'm doing here. Thank you so much for watching. You made it this far. You're always welcome back.
Easy if you want fresh ingredients, high quality.
Yo.
Delicious stuff, man. It's easy.
Look at this
So check out this week's menu.